I used to get patches like right down to my waist from sweat. I couldn't grip things. They'd say, "Why are your hands wet?" I'd fall over in the shopping centre when I'd wear slip-on shoes. I just felt so dirty and ugly, and I was really desperate to find something to help me. I'm Daniella, I'm 29 and I have hyperhidrosis. Hyperhidrosis is excessive sweating. I would say it's an abnormal type of sweating. I could just be walking to my car, going to work. I haven't even done anything too rigorous, and it looks as if I've done a 40-minute cardio workout. In the wintertime, it gets really hard for me because I'm sweating and it's cold. My clothes are wet and I can't get warm. As a child, I probably sweat the most in my hands. If I was writing a paper in class, the paper underneath my hand would be completely wet and the print would often smudge because it would be like a puddle of sweat. Being around people is really challenging because you meet someone and they put out their hand and say, "Hey, how you doing?" and they want to shake your hand. I'd absolutely panic because when someone would hold my hand, they'd say, "Yuck, what's that? Why are your hands wet?" I tried things like powders, deodorants, iontophoresis, like an electrical current that helps manage sweating. But, the sweating was really bad. It was really impacting my self-esteem. I think I hit depression. And I really just wanted something to happen. So I was in year 8 when the surgery happened, a surgery called a sympathectomy, and that involved basically snipping parts of the sympathetic nerve that lead to the hands that create the sweating. I woke up from the anaesthetic and I could not believe when I looked at my hands. There was no beads of sweat. They were completely dry, and I just remember feeling my skin thinking, "Whoa, this feels different." A downfall of the surgery is now I have excessive sweating in other areas, and that can be a side effect. It was disheartening, but for me at that point, anything was better than hand sweating. The armpit sweating became more exaggerated. I used to get patches right down to my waist from sweat. In terms of dating and stuff, there's no way I would do it in high school or, early adulthood. I would always feel worried about what are they going to feel when they hug me, or are they going to be grossed out? I thought, well, no one would want me. I'm sweaty and yucky and ugly, and I was always told it's not very ladylike, and it's not something you see a woman with sweat all over her. My clothing was very much loose clothing, more dull tones, so blacks, navies, specific materials like cottons because it hid the sweat. I reached a point where I was going to work and I was running out of clothes and materials, so I spoke to my GP. I said, "Look, hey, I've Googled, treatment options, and I saw something called Botox for sweating." And he said, "Yes, there's a clinic." When I went in for the Botox, I didn't really know what to expect. For me, it was instant. As soon as I left the clinic, my armpits were dry. So that was really mind-blowing. I celebrated with a massive shopping spree. I went and bought a bunch of clothes. I was wearing black for a very long time, and now I've just gone crazy with colour. I don't have to worry about sweat patches because it doesn't show anymore. I used to plan a lot to keep things safe and controlled. Now I feel a lot more open to possibilities. If you asked me 5 years ago if I'd ever lecture or go up in front of a crowd of people, I would have said to you, in your dreams, don't even go there. Now I teach in front of people, I lecture, I work as a therapist, so I deal with a lot of people, and I'm not afraid as much anymore. My world is becoming more and more colourful and coloured and animated. I don't want to be defined by my sweating anymore, and if I can be more accepting of me, then that's permission for other people to accept me. Hi, if you want to learn more about hyperhidrosis, please see the links in the comments.